Alright, the new type of heal triggers for V has been revealed, along with more Cardinal or Shadow Army token support, along with Diablos or Final Rush support. So let's begin. But first, cards from the last few days. Our first card is a rare Dragon Empire Horn of Blessing. It's a normal order, grade 3, and its skill is cost discard an overdressed card and draw 2 cards. It's just a nice cycle card. Too bad it's a grade 3, so you can't really play this in early game, but if you're in a scenario where you just have too many overdressed cards in your hand, it's just a nice way to do a cycle. And into Brandgate on prison support, we got a normal order, Moment of Arrest, Aurora Battle Princess's 24 hours coverage. That's a long ass name. Grade 2, and its skill is cost Soul Blast 1. If your opponent's hand is 4 or more, your opponent chooses a card from the hand and imprison it. Nice, hand imprisoning, we actually need more of those. Then if there are 3 or more of your opponent's cards imprisoned in your prison, choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k power until the end of turn. So that's just a nice bonus, but what I care about this card is actually the fact that you can imprison one of your opponent's cards in their hand. And soul isn't really much of an issue when your prison card literally lets you soul charge. And into Dark States Boromagus support, we got double rare, Cleave Muddler. Grade 2, tank power and skill is auto rearguard. When this card attacks, if your Vanguard is Boromagus, cost discard card from hand, this card gets plus 5k power until the end of that battle. If your soul is 10 or more, countercharge 1. Pretty nice, especially when you're at the situation where Boromagus has 15 cards in soul and then you put everything in soul and then you call 2 units, you can actually call this as one of your units, as this is going to be a 15k beater and it can still hit a Vanguard, as long as your opponent doesn't get a trigger. So overall, pretty nice. And then we got Anomaly Extraction, which is a grade 3 normal order, and its skill is cost counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, soul charge 3. Then if there's 10 or more cards in soul, choose a card from your soul and put it to your hand. So basically, you minus 2 cards to get 3 soul charges and 1 card from your soul to hand. So in total, it's kind of a minus 1. It's not too bad, especially when Boromagus in general wants you to build up as much soul as possible. But I would say it is worth checking for the fact that you can return 1 card from your soul to your hand. And then for Stokea Sylvan support, we got Sylvan Horn Beast Illata. Grade 3, during your power and skill is auto rearguard. When this card attacks, if you have 2 or more units in the front of this unit, this card gets plus 5k power until the end of the battle. And if there are 3 or more, soul charge 1. Alright, the Sylvan archetype focuses around attacking with the back row and wants to build up a full field for full advantage. So of course you're going to be building up with small attacks, so that extra power can be very helpful. But one thing that is important about this card is the fact that it lets you soul charge. Because so far Sylvan is lacking a way of soul charging, so this letting you build back some resources, that's pretty nice. Especially in a nation that has cards that can recycle for them. Now for the Tuesday stream, here's the alternate arts of the main units for Lyrical Monasterial. And then to continue off, here's the reprints for V Clan Collection 1, and I would say pretty nice. And then here's V Clan Collection 2, which I'll say very good as well. Although one weird one is the Link Joker one, which is Cyber Dragon, so are we gonna get a new Cyber Dragon support card? Or maybe Nebula Lord Dragon with Star Vader? Who knows? And then speaking of V Clan Collection, here's the new type of heal triggers called Heal Guardians, where we got the Royal Paladin one revealed by the way. But all of them will have this same ability where they're all grade 3s with 15k shield with no imaginary gift, but at the cost of that shield value, they are 10k power. All of them will have the same ability when they're placed from the Guardian Circle from hand. If you have not written a grade 3 or greater yet, perform one of the following abilities. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets plus 10k power until the end of the turn, or choose one of your opponent's units and it gets crit minus 2 until the end of that battle. Yay, that makes early game rush much more hard to do. But they also have a second ability where, when placed on rearguard from hand, if your damage zone has 0 cards, put the top card of your deck to the damage zone. This is obviously to prevent damage denying. So in general, these are meant to be used at early game. But what will suck is that if you need another grade 3, and you have this in hand, well, you're not going to be able to do a G-Assist because you already have a grade 3 existing in hand. And the other thing that will suck is the late game value, because you will lose that extra 5k shield from the original heal triggers. But I would run 4 of these regardless over the original heal triggers because early game rush is actually far more important. So yeah. And here are some rulings about Heal Guardians. Yes, the shield value along with that power will be included together if you do play that Heal Guardian skill. And if you use 2 Heal Guardians at the same time, both of them will activate. Even if you use it for each battle as well, as long as you haven't rolled a grade 3 yet, you can use the Heal Guardian's abilities. And if you use the Heal Guardian's ability to make a crit of 0, the attack will be still considered hit, but you take no damage. And if your opponent's critical was 1 and you use the minus crit ability where it will become -1, and they get a double crit, you only take 1 damage because negative counts. And like I said before, this is considered grade 3 from hand, so G assist will not work if you're able to ride a grade 3, because you can ride this, which will suck. And also, yes, you can use this for a G Guardian, which I will do actually, because I will be playing these in Premium, because those G Guardians will be late game cards while these are early game cards. Yay! And finally, the support cards of our 2 archetypes in the booster set. Let's start off with the Diablo's Final Rush cards, that being Diablo's Madonna Mabo. Grade 1, 7k power and skills. Auto Rearguard. When this unit boosts a Vanguard, if you are in Final Rush, cost count lost 1, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets triple drive until the end of the turn. Damn, that's pretty good. Of course, Final Rush is meant to be late game, so it is kinda fair. Next, Diablo's Jetbacker Leonard. Grade 2, 10k power and skills. Count Rearguard. If you're in Final Rush, this card gets plus 5k power. And then when this card attacks, it battles all your opponent's units in the same column. So yeah, just like that World card, this card can attack everything in one column. So you attack a Vanguard, you can also attack whatever's behind it. But it also has a second skill where Auto Rearguard. When this card attack hits, Soul Charge 1, and if your Vanguard is Bruce, choose one card from your Soul and call it to open Rearguard. More pressure attack over here. And what's nice about this second skill is that you don't need to be in Final Rush. Pretty nice. And then for the needed Cardinal Shadow Army token support, we got Cardinal Noid Tamborino. Grade 1, 8k power and skills. Auto Rearguard. When this unit boosts a Shadow Army token, you may have this card gets plus 15k power into the end of that turn. And if you do, at the end of that battle, retire all rearguards to the same column as this unit and draw a card. Yes, it is kind of a -2 for a +1, but this with a Shadow Army token, that's 38k power right there. And not only that, those Shadow Army tokens are generated pretty much for free, so it's not really too much of a minus right there. Finally, Cardinal Draco Alviderd. Grade 2, 10 power and skills. Count Rearguard. During your turn, if your world is Dark Knight, this card gets plus 2k power. If it's Abyssal Dark Knight, this card gets 5k power. Alright, 15k beat stick, which means boosted by Shadow Army token will be 30k. Second skill, Auto Rearguard. At the end of the battle that this card attacked, cost retire Shadow Army token, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. Like I said, those Shadow Army tokens are pretty much generated for free, or not really for free, but they're just generated. So it's not really much of a trade-off to kill one of your opponent's rearguards. And you can always just use the Shadow Army token to boost this card, and then this card attacks for 30k, and then just retire that boosted Shadow Army token, so the purpose was already used up. So overall, not too bad, and very needed for the Cardinal archetype. Still waiting for my crit pressure card though. So that's it for this stream. What do you guys think about the Heal Guardians, the Final Rush, and Cardinal support? For the Heal Guardians, I like it, other than the fact that it's a grade 3. Because now we have early game ways to block, and that was one of the biggest issues during V. And especially in Premium, where now you can have interesting interactions. You can use those Heal Guardians for early game purposes, and then just use your G Guardians for late game purposes. For the Final Rush support, I'll say pretty decent. I mean, it is a late game type deck, so you're not really going to have too much early game stuff, which is why that new grade 2 is pretty helpful with that. And then for the Cardinal support, I'm just going to say it's very needed, since the Cardinal cards that we got so far in Booster Set 1 is only all about power and nothing else. So the extra pressure cards, extra retire is very nice. But in that, I hope you enjoy this and see you all next time.